Hi, everyone. I'm Andrew Fazekas, the Night Sky Guy, your host for Friday Find. It's November 25th, 2022. Welcome. This is my weekly show where I give a rundown of some of the items of news in space regarding space discoveries, astronomy that have come across my desk as an astronomy journalist that have caught my eye. And I just want to share with you of some of those interesting things. So why don't we dive right in? First up is this very interesting latest news from the Webb Space Telescope. Check this out, guys. So this is NASA's Webb. Says it's a new release. NASA's Webb reveals an exoplanet's atmosphere as never before seen. So this is really interesting because NASA's Space Telescope just scored another first, a molecular and chemical profile of a distant world's skies. So while Webb and other space telescopes, including Hubble and Spitzer, these are cousin space telescopes, Hubble and Spitzer of the James Webb, previously have revealed isolated ingredients of this broiling planet's atmosphere, the new readings provide a full menu of atoms, molecules, and even signs of active chemistry and clouds. So here we are. We're talking about a world, guys, that's 700 light years away. Think about that. 700 light years away is this planet. It's a hot Saturn planet, meaning it's a planet about as massive as Saturn that's in our solar system, but it's in a much tighter orbit, or even tighter, closer to its home star than Mercury. So what does that mean? Well, that tells us that this planet is extremely hot because it's so close to its home star. It's orbiting very, very tightly. And this is telling us that that it's probably does not have life on it. It's a planet that is probably not even conducive to life because it's just too darn hot. But it bodes well for the capability of Webb's instruments to conducting a broad range of investigations of all types of exoplanets. These are planets around other stars. So what they're saying is they observed the exoplanet using multiple instruments, and what they did is they actually got the chemical fingerprints of this star's planet, I should say. And here you can see is a graph of this. Now, this is really technical, obviously, but basically they've discovered things like sulfuric dioxide and other chemicals that are floating in the atmosphere. And it's really gives us a very good profile of what this planet is like. So I'm going to put a link to this press release so you guys can read it on your own. But I thought this was really interesting. Again, showing what the James Webb Space Telescope is capable of doing. It's able to profile the atmosphere of a distant world, 700 light years away. So imagine the light from this particular planet. It's 700, let me just confirm it. Indeed, yeah, 700 light years away. It means that it takes 7 centuries for the light to reach us. We're seeing back in time 7 centuries when we're looking at this planet. And so the James Webb Space Telescope can take that feeble little beam of light and put it through basically a prism, and look at the chemical fingerprints of all these different components of the atmosphere. And this bodes well for looking for habitable worlds as well. Obviously, at this point, they're just trying out the instruments, making sure that their techniques that they're using to determine habitable worlds potentially is all working as they should. And it seems like it really is. They're really impressed with the molecular and chemical identifying capability of this telescope. So fantastic. Hats off to the James Webb Space Telescope team. This bodes really well for finding those maybe perhaps an Earth 2.0 in the future. Well, we'll see. So what else is there on our map of things of what we can see? Artemis. The Artemis mission of course, this uncrewed NASA's rocket mission to the moon, return of humans, heralds that return of humans eventually onto the surface of the moon. This is the latest image from the unmanned Orion spacecraft, from a camera that's on one of the solar panels, looking back at the moon. It's reaching its most distant retrograde orbit in this view, and as this was taken on flight day 8. So we're talking about probably taken, I think, on Wednesday. This was taken on Wednesday because they posted this on Thursday, yesterday. And they're referring to this camera picture, solar rate at 10:57 Eastern Time, PM. And you can see here, really, really clearly, you can see the Orion capsule is located here, and you can see the moon in the distance. I'm going to post this as well. Now, what's coming up is that it's going to go into a lunar orbit, and they're going to do a burn in very shortly, actually, a burn to an engine burn to accomplish that. So, and you can watch all of that on NASA's TV as well. So a really great location, of course, is the Artemis. You want to get all the background information of Artemis. I'm going to put this link as well. You can read up about what NASA's plans are with the Artemis mission. This is an uncrewed mission, obviously, but the next ones that are going to be going, it will be maybe in a year and a half to 2 years from now. Hopefully those will have a crew of 4, will orbit the moon, not land, and it will basically be the same kind of mission as what we're seeing right now that they're doing with Artemis 1. Artemis 2 will have a crewed mission, and Artemis 3 in 2025 will be when we're actually landing on the surface of the moon. So I'm going to put a link to this particular one. It gives a great rundown of what to expect in the future for Artemis. So why are we going to the moon? They have all these videos and the technology and everything. So do check that out. I'll have that there for you as well. Now, another really cool item that came across my desk, and I posted this on my website. I created a blog on this. NASA astronomers saw the Ontario meteor coming. Now, this made news last weekend, about a week ago, where there was this really super bright meteor that flew across the sky. Here's a great little video. Check this out of what I'm talking about. Very impressive. Over the skyline of Toronto, Canada. Look at that. Just off the top of the screen there. And there is another video that we can look at. Let me see if I have it. This is from a security camera. Just somebody on their home security camera. Watch the glow. Watch the glow. You'll see it coming in a second here. Where is it? There. You can see it right there. See that glow in the background? And there it is, streaking across the sky. So this was about a 1 meter across boulder that did this, and I think fragments actually made it down in Ontario.
A rare sight lit up Toronto's night sky last night. This video from EarthCam shows what appears to be a meteoroid streaking over the city at around 3:30 this morning. Many people from Cleveland to Toronto reported hearing a loud boom, which scientists say was likely the sound of the object entering the atmosphere. A viewer sent us this video of the flash of the space rock from a home in Burlington. Experts knew it was coming ahead of time, marking only the 6th time scientists have accurately predicted the entry of a meteoroid.
So this is something really special, just like what the announcer was saying, is that, yes, it wasn't a huge giant boulder. It was about 1 meter across, but we detected it a few hours before it actually hit the atmosphere of the Earth. And that's quite significant because we haven't been able to do that more than a handful of times. And if we want to eventually save our planet from an oncoming large, very large asteroid, then we need to be able to find these soon enough. And even the smaller ones that are the size of a dump truck or a skyscraper, we have to find them months or years in advance eventually before a potential impact so that we can actually save, say, a city or a smaller region of our planet. Doesn't cause an extinction level event, but can really cause a bad day for tens of thousands or millions of people potentially. So we've seen that through the NASA's DART mission, where we sent a spacecraft and kind of knocked an asteroid on its side and just nudged it over a little bit enough so that we change its orbit. We know that we can do this with this technique of sending a spacecraft to the side of an asteroid. But it starts with small moves like this, where we can actually predict where they're coming in. Here, I'm going to put a link to this article, and it's an article that I basically shared from NASA of how NASA astronomers were able to do this, and there's those videos you can watch on your own as well for that. So lots of cool stuff. I've placed some links for you guys to look at. One last thing, just a little plug for my favorite charity, my 501c charity that I help out and work with, Astronomers Without Borders. They have an amazing sale on a telescope, which is considered one of the best ranked inexpensive telescopes. It's under $250. It's a 5-inch mirror, collapsible, portable telescopes. It's ranked by many organizations as one of the top telescopes around that are very family friendly, portable. And I'm going to put a link to this. And if you are shopping around potentially and you are in the United States, and this I have to say is only for those of you that are in the US, there's also free shipping as well across the United States. This telescope is available throughout the United States, and you are supporting this nonprofit in its work around the world, helping folks, underserved communities with STEM education. How cool is that? So there's a little shout out for that. And if you are interested in astronomy and interested in the night sky, of what you can see in the night sky, I recommend my new book out by National Geographic, so you can know that they're good quality pictures and maps of both northern and southern hemisphere. I am selling these on my website, signed and personally dedicated copies if you're interested for the holidays. I also have my backyard guide to the night sky available too, if that's of interest as well. I'll put links in the chat for those if you're looking for holiday gifts. Those are 3 potential. You have a telescope and 2 guides that also available. So do check those out. I hope you have a great weekend. I'm going to see you on Monday when I do my night sky this week, as I do every Monday. So check that out. Do come and visit me, and I'll give a rundown of what you can see in the night sky in the coming weeks. Also, before I forget, I'm going to have a great article on my picks for the top sky watching events for 2023. That's going to be coming out in just a matter of a few days at National Geographic. I'm going to share that link with you, and I'll have more information about what you need to circle on your sky watching calendar for 2023 in the coming days. We're almost in December already. I can't believe it. So it's time to think about what we're going to be watching for in the skies in 2023. Anyways, have a great weekend. I hope to see you on Monday. Until then, I wish all of you, as usual, clear skies. Bye-bye.